COVID is no joke, guys. You gotta wear your masks. Listen to me and listen to me carefully. My uncle is in the hospital right now for the second time because of COVID. He had it in the spring, was hospitalized, and he got it again. And he's hospitalized for the second time. Having antibodies is no reason to say, oh, look, I have antibodies. I don't have to worry about COVID because I already got it. Well, guess what? My uncle got COVID twice because this virus mutates like hell. It mutates really quickly. If you don't wear a mask, you're dooming yourself to possibly getting COVID twice. And there's no guarantee that the second time will be any better than the first. It could actually be worse. In fact, this time right now is worse than his first because he became really, really, really sick. And he was admitted to the emergency room having respiratory issues, again, with 102, 103 degree fever. And during his first time, it was relatively not so bad for him. He got released within a day or so. Now it's worse. His second bout of COVID is worse than his first. So I'm asking you, if you live in a high-risk zone, just please stay home. I'm outside because I'm working. And I'm outside in public, like I'm not inside, and I'm wearing a mask. Hey, can you call me Andy, please? But thanks. Anyway, this is no joke. COVID is no freaking hoax. It's real. I almost lost another family member, my great uncle. My uncle's father, my great uncle, almost passed because of COVID. Having antibodies is not a guarantee that you're not going to get COVID again. Yes, it can hit twice. My uncle got it twice. He tested positive again. He's in the... Damn this shit. It was not a false positive. We thought it was the flu. He tested negative for everything but COVID. Yes, you can get COVID once or twice, even 3 times. It's been in the news that you can get COVID more than once. Because like the flu, you can get the flu more than once. Because there are multiple strains of the flu. Just like there are multiple strains of COVID. Why? Because this pandemic mutated. The virus mutated. So there's more than one strain of this pandemic. There's more than one strain of this virus. Some strains can be better, some strains can be worse. Some people are asymptomatic to one strain, will be symptomatic to another. There's no guarantee that you're not going to get it a second time, especially if you're not wearing a damn mask. Well, my uncle right now is in a hospital because of COVID. And this time is worse. When my great uncle had it the first time, so far he has not got it a second time. My great uncle so far had it once, and hopefully it will stay that way. He lost his smell. There is now news going around that if you do not lose your sense of smell during COVID, that it could be worse than if you do. In some cases, losing your sense of smell is actually a good sign. It means that while you do have COVID, it won't be as bad. And my uncle, my great uncle, was placed on an oxygen mask. Not a ventilator, thankfully, but he's still having some after effects. It caused him to have some heart issues. The medication that he was placed on caused him to have heart issues. What it was called, the medication that Trump touted, hydrochloroquine, is very dangerous. Just get the damn vaccine when it comes out. Stop saying, oh, It's there to control the population. It's going to kill people. This vaccine, just like every other vaccine, is going to save people's lives. Yeah, some people maybe 1 out of 100 million people will have an adverse reaction to it. But it's going to save hundreds of thousands, if not tens of millions of lives. Just listen. If you do not want to get the vaccine and you're in good health, fine. But what about your elderly family members? You might not be affected negatively by it, but they will. Think about them for a change. Instead of going around to your damn anti-mask rallies, going around saying, oh, COVID is a hoax, COVID is a hoax. Take it seriously. If you don't want to take it seriously, one of your family members are going to die because they may not have the same immunity that you have. Take it seriously. And especially the people who cannot drive, like I can't, I have to take mass transit. I'm asthmatic. So if I get COVID, I'm going to be placed on a freaking oxygen mask, maybe even a ventilator, especially if I'm not asymptomatic. If I'm one of those people who's immunocompromised, or if I have a, God forbid, cytokine storm because my immune system goes into haywire, I'm screwed. This has the potential to be as bad as 1918, especially if it mutates to the point that it triggers an immune system cytokine storm response in some younger people like myself. Hell, the 1918 pandemic, the 1918 flu, which started in Kansas, caused such a severe inflammatory response that people were having bleeding, like Ebola, blood coming out of the nose and eyes and mouth. Viruses tend to do that. Respiratory viruses and hemorrhagic viruses, like Ebola and dengue. The flu can do the same shit, so can COVID. So does measles, also respiratory virus. Take this shit seriously and get yourself vaccinated. Or if you can't get vaccinated and you're immunocompromised, stay home. I'm not immunocompromised, but there are people who are. Hold on. Oh God, it's not fake news, damn it. Okay? Well, maybe you haven't lost a family member or nearly lost one like I have. Take this shit seriously. Please. Take this shit. We're the #1 country for the most cases. N1H1, that's a flu virus. And Sleepy Joe was not calling it N1H1. Maybe he's H1N1 is a bird flu virus, is the swine flu virus. H1N1 caused a 1918 pandemic, the deadly one, and the less deadly 2009 pandemic, swine flu. The 1918 pandemic also was a swine flu. Started on a pig farm in Haskell County, Kansas. Do your research and stop saying everything is fucking fake news, because it's not. Why are numbers rising? Guess where the numbers are #1? In Texas, where people don't want to wear their goddamn masks with a Republican governor. Damn it. People are like, oh, we don't have to wear masks. Do you know in Florida, masks are optional? In Miami, Miami, they're optional. All of Florida, they're optional. Young people are going into stores now wearing masks. Same shit in Texas. That's why Texas is #1. Florida has more than 1 million cases. Here in New York, masks are mandatory, which is why we're #5, despite being one of the most populous states. California is still #2. But California is also the most populated state. Keep in mind. Texas is much less populated than Florida, and it's still #1. Let me show you. Go to worldometers.com. Okay. because not everyone are wearing masks. There are people who are not following these damn mask mandates. I've seen people in the subway in New York who are not wearing their masks. I've seen people in the streets who are not wearing their masks. And you know what happens when people don't wear their masks? People gather with loved ones saying, oh, we don't have to wear masks. Let's have more than 10 people. Guess what? My family gathered with 12. I live in New York. And here's the thing. My family gathered with more than 10 people. We didn't follow the governor's guidelines. Guess what? My uncle was at that Thanksgiving party. Now we're all screwed because the uncle who was not supposed to come, we invited him, met more than 10 people. Now that there's a good chance I might develop COVID, as so the rest of my family, because we decided to add extra guests. Listen to me. I'm begging you. If you're not going to wear masks, you know why? Masks are meant to protect you in public. Here's the best thing. Stay home. Stay the fuck home. That's how we limited the first wave. Now they're not doing, oh, stay home. And guess what? It's off the charts. Yes, you also need to be wearing gloves. Because guess what? Germs can still get on your hands. You're touching surfaces. And also, have a hand sanitizer with you. Look, we're young people. Actually, the fastest growing county in the United States is actually not LA. It's actually in Dallas. It's in Texas. It's actually in Florida. Right now, Suffolk County, which still has not closed indoor dining, has #1 cases. Listen, masks prevent a lot of spread. If you were not wearing masks, you'd be having 40, 50,000 cases in a day. When masks were not made mandatory until the middle of the pandemic, guess what was happening? My neighborhood was overrun with cases because there weren't enough masks. Almost everyone in my building got sick. I had a mask the entire time. I never got sick. Yeah, masks will prevent a lot of spread, maybe 80 to 90%. Imagine if no one was wearing a mask. For example, there's a girl right now behind me who's not wearing a mask. See? No mask. No mask. Look, there's also types of masks. This mask is not an N95. So this mask is not as effective as an N95. But the thing is, I'm asthmatic, so I cannot wear N95 because it limits my breathing. No, this mask is good. I don't suffocate in this. Because see, it gives me some breathing space. It doesn't make me suffocate. This mask I actually like. But it's still pretty good. I haven't gotten sick yet. Listen, I stayed home during the first wave. And I did and how to say this? Just stay home, man. If you're gonna go out, you're gonna get sick. You mean H1N1, and that's swine flu. That's a flu virus. COVID is COVID, coronavirus disease, man. Dude, listen. If COVID is a hoax, then why are people dying? That's what he called the swine flu virus in 2009. That's what it was called, H1N1. I stands for influenza. N1, H1. That's an influenza type. H1N1 actually is the correct pronunciation. But listen. I have a family member who's about to die. There actually is a flu virus called N1H1. Hold on. H1N1 was just as virulent as COVID, but it was not as deadly. Very few people died. The predominant people who died were young, healthy people. The older people actually had immunity to it because of the 1918 pandemic. Well, guess what? Trump raped a 13-year-old girl when he was on Epstein Island. So Biden never raped anyone, especially an underage girl. He's just a little weird. He's just very affectionate. When an old guy hugs a girl, they're automatically seen as a pedophile. Well, Trump actually was there too. It wasn't Democrats who ran Epstein Island. It was neoconservatives who ran it. Right-wingers. Bill Clinton was no progressive. Just remember that. He deregulated Wall Street. He decided to continue what Reagan and Bush Sr. continued. Dude, I don't watch CNN, all right? I watch both sides of the argument. I used to watch InfoWars, just so you should know. I used to be a huge follower of Alex Jones until he went cuckoo. Just for your information. So, I don't watch CNN only. I watch everything. I watch Fox. I watch One American News. I watch MSNBC. I watch both sides. So to say I believe fake news is an understatement. Look, I'm a journalism major, okay? So I know fake news when I see it. Listen, I don't know what you watch, but you're getting a lot of misinformation, whatever you're watching. Whether you're watching Fox News or One American News or Breitbart, I don't know what you read or watch, but you gotta stop.
The next Queens-bound train is now arriving on the local track. Please stand away from the platform edge.
I don't deal with this shit anymore. Dude, you know what? Forget it. Okay, guys. I'm going out of service. Excuse me, sorry. Thank you for watching. I gotta go.